The problem there, hash marks used in the count. More than 20,000 votes cast for Mike Duggan not counted because they were improperly tallied.
Well, tonight we are taking action to find out why some of your votes didn't count in this latest primary election. Our Team 7 coverage begins with Smitha Kaloki with more on the Board of Canvassers results. And Smitha, what's going on here?
Well, this is all over a seemingly simple technicality. I want you to take a look at the simple drawing that we have. This is the correct way to do it. Under state law, you're supposed to use hash marks. See, there are 15 marks, and that's how these votes are supposed to be tallied. Instead, apparently, some city election workers did it this way, the wrong way. They just wrote the number 15. Now, because of that small difference, it is very possible that nearly 20,000 votes can be tossed.
Mike Duggan, D-U-G-G-A-N, 23,970.
Jaws in the room dropped. That was well below the 44,000 votes that Detroit City Clerk Janice Winfrey tallied on election night for write-in candidate Mike Duggan.
We had a meeting with the Board of Canvassers lawyer. We had a meeting with her and the chair of the Board of Canvassers, which were available to all of the candidates, where we went over all of the rules. This was not a part of it.
But the Wayne County Board of Canvassers disagrees. The board, which is made up of 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, said it would not certify the results. At the heart of the issue, hash marks. The board says state law requires hash marks to be used to tally the vote. Instead, city election workers use numbers to tally some. So, under the canvas, those votes, nearly 20,000, could be tossed.
They will not certify this election unless they bypass this law.
So we wanted to know, has this ever happened before? Now, I asked that question to the county board, the chairwoman of the county board. She says she doesn't think that this has ever happened before, and many of the political insiders who are inside of this meeting say they've never seen anything quite like this. So what happens next? Well, from here, it goes to the state board of canvassers, but just like the county board, they do not actually do the tallying for these votes. They simply look over the process and make sure that everything was done correctly. Reporting live on Detroit's east side, Smitha Kaloki, 7 Action News.
All right, thanks a lot, Smitha.
You wonder why they can't just recount the ballots, and so everybody's vote counts. Well, right now, Mike Duggan's reported has gone from first place to second place. What's he saying about this tonight?
Well, 7 Action News reporter Ross Jones caught up with the mayoral candidate. And Ross, what's his take on all of this?
Well, the Duggan camp says that Benny Napoleon tried to steal this election once before. Now they're saying he's trying to do it again.
Well, the Napoleon campaign tried another dirty trick, and it didn't work. So I'm really pleased that the Board of Canvassers refused the attempt to disenfranchise 20,000 voters, Detroiters who properly cast their ballots. And now it'll go to the Secretary of State, who I'm sure will act professionally.
Isn't your beef with the legal counsel for the canvassers as opposed to Napoleon? I mean, wasn't it her who brought this up in the first place?
Again, I know where it originated. So regardless of where it came from, of course, you saw how quickly the Napoleon campaign had statements out. They knew exactly what was coming.
Now, even though you heard Mike Duggan, they're not giving any concrete evidence as to how he can link this back to the Napoleon campaign. He is convinced this is just the latest effort to try to disenfranchise voters. You might remember, Duggan said that it was Napoleon who was responsible for Mike Dudgeon entering the race, the 31-year-old barber with a similar name. He only received about 500 votes. We're live at Duggan campaign headquarters tonight in Detroit. Ross Jones, 7 Action News.
And, of course, Napoleon denied that as well, Ross. So what does the new front-runner in the Detroit mayoral race have to say about the primary count?
Let's head on out to 7 Action News reporter Andy Choi with more on the Benny Napoleon camp. Andy?
That's right. We're at the Faith Redemption Center here on the northwest side of Detroit. Benny Napoleon will be here arriving at 7 o'clock tonight. Now, in a statement, Napoleon says Detroiters need to know their votes count regardless of anyone's actions or inactions. Now, he goes on to say on Twitter as well, there is no small margin of vote tally. It's very troubling. I'm sorry. There is no small margin of the vote tally. It's very troubling. I call for federal oversight of November's election. A citizen's vote is the cornerstone of democracy, and people should be able to put their faith in their ballot. He follows that up with hashtag Detroit, hashtag integrity. Again, Napoleon expected to arrive here at Faith Redemption Center at 7 o'clock. We will have that for you coming up on Action News at 7. For now, we are live in Detroit. Andy Choi, 7 Action News.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. And of course, we will continue to bring you all the new information in this controversy, this latest surrounding the race for Detroit's next mayor. We'll have that information for you here on Action News and, of course, online at all times, WXYZ.com.